Hi, I'm John Lewis. Welcome to The Skinny here on your TV. And this is a program about the business of the music business. And today we have a special guest, Samara Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Now you're a singer, songwriter, and harness race driver.
That I am.
Okay. Okay. There's a story there. We're going to talk about your music in a second, but I want to talk about this harness racing. So you get on the little buggy and you're out there.
Yep, and I go yeehaw.
And red is your color, I think?
Red, black, and white, yep.
Because I think I saw a picture and you had your SJ on your thing, and you've ridden like 500 plus races?
Yep. Almost 15 years of driving horses.
Wow. And how did this start? I understand your grandfather got his first horse when he was what?
Oh, I think he was in his 30s, 40s, either late 30s or 40s, and he won our first horse in a poker deal or poker game.
Yeah.
There it is. And he got a horse and a bottle of whiskey, and that's how we got into it.
Now, which was the better, the horse or the whiskey?
I think the horse made more money, but the whiskey made it easy.
And then your dad also has horse, or does he have a bunch now?
We had at one point over 40 horses. We were actually we used to stable in Ottawa, and we'd go down to Florida for the winter, and we'd stable down in Poconos. And yeah, we've done like 40 plus years of horse racing.
Now it looks like it's sort of an easy kind of thing to do, but it's a dangerous profession to be into, right? You've been thrown off a few times.
Yes, I have. I have hit the ground once, and I said never again. So I decided to walk the last one off in the air.
And then you've also won women's. I saw there the Ontario Women's Driving Competition in Leamington.
Yes, last year, and I was there yesterday for the fourth leg of the women's driving competition this year. So, and I finished second.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. The horse racing, we've talked about it. It's over. Now we're going to focus on music, which is what this show is really about, and horse racing. So now, when did you first start getting into music?
I've always kind of enjoyed the musical component. I would make up songs in my head, like when I was a kid, and just like with like little instrumentals and stuff like that. You'd twist the little toys and stuff, and they do the music, and then I just come up with. A lot of the times it was always "Let It Be." I don't know why, but that's just the song that always came to me. But my grandma actually taught me how to play chopsticks on the piano when I was 4 or 5. And
so your first music teacher is your grandmother.
Yes, and she still likes to listen to me play, and she always tries to find where I have to show her on my phone on the YouTube all of my songs, and she's quite happy to listen.
And so now, are other people in your family, do they play an instrument? Your dad, grandfather?
Well, my dad actually, he can play piano, and he did play guitar. My grandpa could play. My aunt Denise, she plays guitar. She can actually tune by ear. She doesn't need a tuner at all. My uncle Rick, he was a counselor and was he? No, just counselor in Pickering, and he actually had a band called the Rick Johnson Band, and they used to do tours and jamborees and all that stuff all down there. And yeah, my uncle Doug, he also plays piano. So yeah, I think we've got some musical lines in the family.
Have you ever taken formal lessons?
I've taken, back when I was 18, I took some singing lessons for a few months, and that was about it.
Okay, but you play the ukulele, guitar, piano.
Yeah, bass, I'm trying to figure out the bass. Drums are the bane of my existence. I cannot figure them out, and they're quite instrumental in the whole production of things, so it's a work in progress.
Well, there's a lot of things you got to keep time to, right? Because you got your hi-hat, and then you've got your snare you're trying to do, and then you got maybe a cymbal, and then you got your kick drum on this foot.
You're just using every...
You're using everything. Now, can you remember the first guitar you got?
Yes, I still have it. The first guitar I actually gave away. It was my cousin's. He was in an accident and passed away, and my aunt gifted me 2 of his guitars, and I gave the one to one of my friends, and I gave the other one to another friend because I wasn't interested in. But then my stepdad gave me his guitar from Spain. It was a Samara, and yeah, I still have that one.
Wow.
And I've been trying to reach out to my friends to get the other ones back, but you know, you lose touch.
So now, do you practice all the time? Because you said you're self-taught on these instruments. Do you have to work at it all the time?
I enjoy it, so it doesn't. My practicing is just my enjoyment of it. So like I can play between anywhere from an hour to like 4 or 5 hours in a day, every day. Like I just love it.
In between riding horses.
Everything else, yes.
Yes.
Sometimes I break it up between the
Yes.
day. I play a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night.
You're not shy about performing in front of people.
Extremely.
That's for sure. Because, well, but you've performed at open mics since you were like 16 years old.
I push myself to do the things.
So you're nervous when you get up there?
For the last 18 years, every time I get up there, my legs start shaking. Actually, it's been worse lately again. I don't know why, but I always had nerves.
Wow.
But I want to do it, so I just keep doing it, and eventually they'll go away.
Now, you're friends and know Steve Lynch, who does this thing called the Stage Cafe, a place where new up-and-coming singers can perform. Now, you've been there a bunch of years now, 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah, it's been thoroughly enjoyable going there. The acoustics in the church are amazing. The people, the crowd is always very attentive and listens in. It's a fantastic experience.
Well, I don't know if you know, they used to be on Tallwood Avenue at one time, way
really?
back when, because Steve's been doing this for quite a while. And how do you find that? Has that boosted your confidence doing this? Since you said you were a bit nervous performing, does that help that you perform there?
Oh yeah, every experience, every time you do something new, something different, it only adds to the exposure and experience to, you know, get yourself better.
Yeah, so you've seen some new people come and you go, hey, they're good. Do you offer them advice sometimes? Because you've been doing this for a little while.
Oh, every time I hear something gets my fancy, or so I go right up to them, like, that was amazing. Like, that was so cool. Like, I love that one song or anything, because I know how nice it is to have somebody come up to me and be like, you know what, that song that you did was, like, it really touched me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, that's so cool. Like, someone was listening, right? Because, like, a lot of the bars that I've played at and stuff, like, you're just playing to just as a background noise, basically.
Right.
But, like, you know, some people are going to be listening, and when they come up and say something like that, it just encourages you and makes you believe in yourself a little bit more. So I always try to do that for other people too, because I thoroughly appreciate it.
And at the stage, like you said, usually it's friends, family, and they're listening. And as you said, compared to a bar where sometimes the crowd is almost louder than you are, and you're trying to fight through that. Is that discouraging sometimes when you look out and they're not paying attention to you?
No, not at all, because I'm used to just playing in my bedroom. So I play to my cats and stuffed animals. So I'm used to kind of just doing my own thing anyways.
Now you play around at different places in Peterborough.
Yes.
And outside of Peterborough. So how would you describe right now the Peterborough music scene is changing, and at least it's coming back now after the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
And how has the music scene been for you?
Well, this has actually been my first year involved in the music scene. Everything that I've done has been behind the scenes. So this is since February is when I first started coming out and kind of getting a taste for what Peterborough has to offer musically. Aside from the Stage Cafe, I haven't played anywhere aside from this year, and since February, I've ran 2 open mics. I have played at bars all over Peterborough, as well as Western Canada and Eastern Canada, Ontario. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.
So once the mask came off, you are starting to shine now, because you can get out to these places, eh?
Yeah.
Now, I was reading that you've written a lot of songs, like hundreds and hundreds. Like, I thought I saw something 300 plus songs that you finished, and then you have this other pile of stuff that you're still working on.
Yeah, I have over 10 books now. I just finished my 10th book, so I've started. Well, I haven't started my 11th book yet because each book is like a chapter of my life. It takes about 2-3 years to complete each book. So I'm in between lives right now, and so I'm just going to go on a little side quest, a little exercise book, and we'll see when I start my next chapter.
Well, you're working with people because of the internet. The internet is so cool, right? Because you can actually work with people from wherever. Who are some of the people you've been working with in countries that you get to collaborate with?
Oh, the BandLab has been absolutely phenomenal for that. I started there 2 years, and I've worked with people from Brazil, I've worked with people from Britain, I've worked with people all over the States, and in a whole bunch of other different countries, and we've just done a whole bunch of magical music making.
And how does that work? Do you contribute what you're writing and the music, and then they send you something and say, hey, this is what I think, and let's try this?
It's all dependent on the project. My bandmate from Memphis, Ian Ivey, him and I, we teamed up back in 2020 and kind of made this collaboration. We use like his songs, so he has the guitar and usually most of the words. Sometimes he'll leave me like a verse or something like that, and we'll collaborate on that. And it's just through like chatting and like Messenger and stuff like that. And then we figure out then the mixer in BandLab allows us to add our tracks and everything, so that we're able to like he adds on his track, and then I can put something, and then we'll be like, okay, we like that, we don't like that, we need to redo our vocals. So we'll just kind of, the project allows us to kind of see the progress as it goes, and then once we're satisfied with the project, then we can release it into the.
It's so interesting, eh?
Yeah.
And do you like Skype with them too, or Zoom or whatever, so you can see them?
Yeah, we Facebook Messenger,
okay.
FaceTime.
Oh, FaceTime.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I know about that. Even though I'm old and don't always use Messenger very well, I know about Facebook and Messenger. Yes. So
got to keep with the times.
got to keep with keep with the times. Now we're going to talk about songwriting. Show one of your videos, but we're going to take a short break first. So you're watching The Skinny here on TV Cogeco, and we'll be right back. Sorry, I'll do that again, John. Yep. Yep, sure I can. Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about songwriting, how you write songs, play a video, but first we're going to take a little break. You're watching The Skinny here on your TV, and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to The Skinny here on your TV. I'm John Lewis, and today we're talking to Samara Johnson, singer, songwriter, and as we already talked about, horse track racer, harness race driver, I mean.
But professional.
Professional, yeah.
Scary.
So before the break, we were talking about music and your songs. So now how do you approach your song? Everybody has a different way that they approach songwriting. How do you approach your songwriting?
Well, it just kind of comes sometimes. Sometimes I actually have something that I'm trying to say, so it's like, it's really everybody's way is my way too. So I pull from different inspirations and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll hear a song and like I made a response song to a song after hearing it. I listen to other people's music, and sometimes that inspires me to be like, I want to write a song like that. Like I just heard on the radio yesterday a song, I think it was by Talk, and I've never heard this song before, but I just loved the components of it, and the dynamics and everything. I'm like, I want to do something like that. So that's probably what I'm going to do when I get home tonight.
Now, you look at other people's stuff too, and because you're self-taught, finding different chords, different patterns as well. And is it the music first or is it the words first? How does that work?
It all depends on what, like, because sometimes I'll just write stuff and it just stays as poetry because I can't find the music to it. And other times it's the music and then it's just the words just spew out of me. And like watching other people, like them playing, like I've just recently started learning like my friends' songs, like Adam Terrio and Corey Merritt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and seeing how they put in their stuff and everything, I'm just like, I'm fascinated by how other people do their stuff because that just, again, inspires me to want to create more with mine.
You had a song out, Once Again, and you did your own little video of it. Yeah. And I want to, so talk about the song first and then we're going to look at it, okay? Talk about what the song's about, yeah. And then we're going to look at it.
Well, that one was just kind of seeing repeating patterns in a sense, like everything comes back around again. I actually got a song about that. I find a lot of the times with my songs, I talk about the same theme, just in different ways. I like to look at things from different viewpoints. So a lot of the times, like I talk about the same maybe 5 topics, but it's just from, okay, my view, their view, an upper view, a lower view, like just kind of looking at it from, like trying to understand from that kind of like I'm just seeking clarity. I'm just seeking understanding, and I'm just trying to find like what is it, like why does this keep coming back up, and once again is kind of in the same caliber of that. It's another song in the line of songs, but this one really like sparked some creative energy in me, when that's what the video was kind of inspired by.
Okay, we're going to watch Samara Johnson, Once Again. Hi, well, that's a neat video. And that is your first video, you said.
Yeah, it was my first like live action kind of, I did a lot of lyrical videos prior to that, but that was like my first kind of like live action one where I actually had it all set up and like, not storyboard, but we made it work.
Yeah, because it looked pretty neat. I mean, that's what you have to do these days, right? Is create videos, because people want to see you play and hear you. Right, and how was that received, that video?
Actually, quite well. I think it has over 300 views, and it's yeah, it was just so much fun. It just stemmed a whole bunch of other creative video ideas.
So you have lots of them.
I have tons, just not implemented yet.
Okay. Talk about, and I don't think we talked about, was Pet Rock Radio?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you play it on there too?
Yes, it was actually one of my first songs that broke into the radio, and since then I think I've had a good 5 to 7 songs on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people vote, or?
Yes, it's an online voting. It's a Peterborough's online alternative radio station, and you can vote through petrockradio.ca. And every week, I have no idea who votes for me. I don't even vote for me. I don't vote for, because I think it's bias, I guess, to vote. Like, if you're part of it, it's just like, okay, you should just stay out of it. But I really appreciate everybody listening in, and yeah.
And what are some other songs that are on there right now that you have on there?
Right now, I think I'm sitting in 3rd position with Let the Music Do the Talking, and I think I'm in 11th position with Lying Low.
Lying Low,
Yeah.
okay. So if you're watching at home and you like what she's saying and you like that last video, you might want to go to petrockradio.ca and check her out and maybe give her a little tick and vote for her, right? Now, what's this Sunday music show that you do? Because you do another thing.
I do all the things. Yes, the Sunday Music Show was just a random idea I thought to try and get my nerves better with playing, and just like getting me to practice playing and figure out doing sets and trying to do that. Now, most of it's random anyways, which didn't really help in the forming of sets, but some of them were actually like strategically placed and stuff, just to kind of get more comfortable playing in front and communicating, even though there's nobody there but, again, my cats. It just gets me a little more comfortable in that position of talking.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Now, you also are doing an apprenticeship and working at Cogeco Studios,
Yes.
recording.
Yes. Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
I have been at the studio. I was actually David's first client
This
at
is
the studio.
David Joyce.
David Joyce, who is the owner of Cogeco Studio, and yeah, I called him up one night late. He likes to say that a lot. I think it was like 10 or 11 at night. I called him up because that's when it just, if I don't do it right when I'm thinking about it, I won't do it at all. So called him up and we set up a appointment to come in and check it out, and then yeah, we just started making all the music. I think I have a whole bunch of projects there because I just kept making more, and we didn't actually release one of my songs until like a year and a half later, because it was just then I started getting behind the table instead of in front of the table, and starting to learn like, oh, how do you make that sound like that, and how do you do this and that, and it was really cool watching how like the way that the production goes with certain things. It's like I just play and I listen. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's a song, and then when they get behind and start fiddling with things, it's just like, whoa. Like, that's a song. Like, what did you do? How did you do that? Like, what sprinkles? What magic did you put in there? Yep. So that was, it was a lot of fun.
Plugins, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of it now
effects.
is plugins, and
Yeah.
you're multi-tracking it. So so are these projects that are all your own songs, or are you working with other people as well?
I have worked with other people since becoming part of the studio. I've actually helped a lot of our younger clients. We have Danielle and Hannah Marie and Tanner. I've actually helped them with not only making their songs, like putting the music behind their songs and playing their songs. I've helped them like kind of write lyrically and stuff like that, or just more or less given like advice, little like, okay, like this is where you want to go with it. Just kind of help them out in that, because you don't want to take away from their own creative endeavor. You just kind of want to guide them, and that's what's so great about with the studio and with David, is he really emphasizes on like not taking over your stuff, but helping you guide it to make it the best that it can be.
We have like 30 seconds left. You're going to look at that camera over here, and you're going to tell people how they can listen to the music and learn more about Samara Johnson.
All right, so I'm going to look over there. All right, Well, I'm Samara Johnson, and if you liked what you heard today, you can find me on all platforms of music. That's Spotify and Apple and all those things. You can find me on YouTube with Samara Johnson, Facebook, Samara Johnson Music, and Instagram, Samara Johnson Music.
There you go. Now you're a self-promoter now. Yes.
Oh, that was a lot of work. I might need a nap after that.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. I really
Hey, you're
appreciate
welcome. You've been watching The Skinny here on your TV, and we'll be back again next week with another program. Bye for now.